Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is that you inky savages are watching or listening to this. Thanks once again for joining us for another episode of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. This is episode number 169. We have a brand new... Is it brand new or brand new? Tom?
A brand.
Oh.
Could be brand.
It's brand new. We have a brand new coupon code for you to use in order to get extra savings at the Goldspot affiliate link in the description below. When you buy your pen stuff, just know by using the affiliate link in the description below, you are helping out the Pentertainment Podcast, the Pentertainment Studios. And this month's or this quarter's coupon code is, drumroll,
Lucy.
What?
Lucy. L-U-C-Y.
Lucy.
Yes. Because we went with Garfield, which is your cat, so we're going with Lucy, which is one of my dogs.
Oh, okay. I'm cool with that. I like that. I thought you were naming it after the movie with Scarlett Johansson, because I know that you're a big fan of ScarJo.
I guess you could apply it to that too. Sure, why not?
Right. But it's named after the Odd Oinks pup, Lucy. Mm-hmm. Coupon code Lucy. Go to the affiliate link in the description below to score yourselves extra savings on all products on the Goldspot website. Not all. Most of the products. Some brand exclusions do apply. And, Tom, would you like to take the reins on the next sponsorship read? Because apparently I make fun of it too much.
Really? Did Bryce mention something to you?
No, but somebody else did. They're like, dude, you're going to lose your sponsorships if you keep making fun of them during the sponsorships. Oh, no. But I'll just read shit the way it is on the screen. I'm not going to... all right, well, I'll give my opinions on it.
I'm going to ad-lib a little bit here. Because, we've mentioned this particular pen a couple of times already in the sponsorship read. But, you know when a pen is not just a pen? That's what the Benu Talisman's like. The Benu Talisman is not only a pen, it is a magnificent lucky charm. It's something that you bring with you to imbue your day with good fortune in one way or another, whether it's good health, luck, prosperity. Maybe you want to get into an amorous relationship. I don't think they've made a talisman for that yet, like a Spanish fly talisman. Ideas are out there.
Isn't Spanish fly a roofie?
It's like the more like herbal version, like a organic. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just saying the Benu Talisman.
I'm pretty sure that's not kosher. I don't know if we should talk about Spanish fly. I'm pretty sure that's a roofie. I don't know if you know that, but when I was a kid, we would call roofies Spanish fly. So let's say something else.
Okay, so we won't use the Benu Talisman to get lucky with other, partners, sexual partners. Right. All right, so, but we can use the Benu Talisman to write really well because it is a fantastic pen. It's got a number 6 size Schmidt nib. It is a beautiful pen that catches the eye. And that's why I say eye, is because there's 3 different new Benu Talismans coming out, and they all have to do with eye, like chatoyance. So there's the cat's eye, there's the hawk's eye, and the last one is, I'm just looking back at my notes here, is the tiger's eye. That's right. So you have 3 different new styles, of which are just beautiful. You could only expect this kind of stuff from Benu with how opulent the acrylic resin is. It's shimmery, it's shiny, it's got that reflective quality, it's got bits of glitter in it. It just really is overwhelming in terms of, you may get yourself distracted looking at the pen while writing with it. It's that gorgeous. So they are coming out with 3 new Benu Talismans. Should drop around the summer. I've been seeing some reports based on maybe mid-July to mid-August, somewhere in that range. But they'll be available at any fine retailer that carries Benu products, of which, of course, Goldspot is one of them as well. So,
when is it coming out?
It's anywhere. I don't know exactly when, because it could be a little bit earlier. But originally it said mid-August. But I'm hearing it could be between mid-July to mid-August. So maybe in the next month and a half.
Okay. So cool. So in that case, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and say that coupon code Lucy will apply to the Benu Talismans. So, I just want to make this very clear for all our listeners and viewers that the Pentertainment Podcast, any members of the Pentertainment Podcast associated with indirectly or directly, do not condone or in any way, shape, or form encourage the use of illicit substances to help you get laid. Including,
I would agree with that statement as well.
Right,
including
Spanish fly, if that is in fact what a roofie is called, including roofies, including anything, any intoxicant that can take away a person's ability to consent. And Tom, maybe I should just do the reads from now on.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah, I'll just do it. I'll just do it from now on. But okay, so anyway, we're really excited to be here for episode number 169. If I knew any better, I'd be like, cut, let's just redo this whole thing. But I'm not going to, because I like authenticity, and mistakes are part of authenticity. So thanks for joining us for episode number 169. But before we get started with the episode, I want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This podcast is not scripted and therefore will contain potty mouth words, both from Tom and I, mostly from me. So be forewarned, you have been warned. Now, on to the podcast.
The PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. Stay savage.
Okay, so I want to read an email that a friend of mine has received from the Shaffer brand.
Okay.
So let me give you some backstory, okay? So a friend of mine, he bought a vintage Shaffer pen, and the Shaffer pen keeps bleeding ink all over the page. I can't remember which Shaffer pen. I hope it says here in the email. But Shaffer responded, "Dear so-and-so, thank you for contacting us. After careful wait, before I get into that, he sent the pen to Shaffer, and he wanted them to fix it, right? He's willing to pay. It doesn't matter what it is, but he wanted them to repair his vintage pen. So anyway.
Right.
Dear John, thank you for contacting us. After careful evaluation by our technician, I am sorry to inform you that we are unable to repair the pen. Our technicians found out that it is not a normal leaking. The piercer is broken, and this model has been discontinued for many years now, and unfortunately we have exhausted some replacement parts to service this older model. As a result, we will be returning it to you unrepaired. Our sincerely apologies." That's what it says. Our sincerely apologies. However, in order to help you repair your existing product, I have attached a list of valued pen specialists and vendors that restore older writing instruments. We do believe one of these specialists may be able to assist you. Thank you for your understanding, and I remain at your disposal for any further information. If I can be of further assistance, please reply to this email directly. Thank you, Bruce, Writing Instruments Customer Service. It's actually not a Shaffer, it's a Waterman. Waterman.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what the model was, but apparently a piercer is broken. Do you know what that is?
It sounds like to me the feed post. Maybe?
The feed post?
Yeah, the feed post that the converter or the cartridge would basically be connected to when it gets pushed into the... That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so let me just send this guy a message. So he sent me this email that he got from Waterman because he needed help with the list, but he didn't include the list. You know what I mean?
It's surprising because I've heard good things about Waterman's service in the past before. I was going to buy it. I was completely buying it when you were saying Shaffer, because I was like, okay, well, they're going through some pretty big transitions. They were part of the Cross brand, and now they're back on their own again, and there's some new products that are coming in that are basically, reintroductions of old models and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I doubt that they would have anything left of some of the older models, but Waterman's been pretty consistent. That's kind of shocking that they would not have the ability. But I mean, I get it, because especially if you get really, really old with the vintage stuff, they're not going to have anything to replace certain things. But if it's maybe like 90s, early 2000s, maybe they might have some extra parts of
right
pens, but yeah, you're talking like 30 plus years ago. They may not have the stuff that they need to put together a pen.
Right. So apparently the Waterman is old enough that the Waterman brand can't fix it. So it's vintage enough that that's the case. If they had the parts, I'm sure they would have. But I'm curious. He didn't send the list. I wish he had, because I'm curious to know what everybody listening or watching has to say about this list of vendors.
Oh,
but since
vendors?
Yeah, but since I didn't get it, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask a blanket question to everybody listening. What are your go-to people for vintage pen repair? Please write in at pentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com, because I'm really curious, because it doesn't... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I've had a few good instances of doing business with Aaron Zvabik from Pentiques.com.
Can you spell that?
Pentiques, Pentiques.com.
Pentiques.com. Okay,
Pentiques.
And they do good vintage repair?
Yeah, Aaron's got... I sent him, actually, a couple of vintage Watermans before that had some filling issues or some nib issues too, and was able to fix things and sent them back, and it was a fairly decent turnaround, maybe like 2-3 weeks or something like that. But this was years ago. But he's always been pretty consistent, I think. I've always recommended other people to go to him too.
Yeah. So what happens with a Waterman pen that's like old enough that it's... I mean, what is Waterman's warranty? Do you know off the top of your head? Is it lifetime?
I know the newer pens today definitely are not. I would doubt that you would see... I mean, possibly like the higher-ended Koreans maybe like are 2-3 year. They usually don't go anything higher than that, at 2 or 3 years at the most. But if you're talking like the older ones, they may have had a different warranty, but I wouldn't be 100% sure of what that was. But they may have changed it at some point or another.
Okay, so I just Googled it. Waterman, Paris. Waterman is a companion for life. Waterman puts its renowned expertise into every pen through rigorous testing and attention to detail. As part of its dedication to quality, Waterman provides a 2-year warranty service on all pens. So he's definitely out of warranty. Now, I want to look up you can type faster. Can you look up whether or not Waterman was ever a lifetime warranty?
Let's see.
Because I'm wondering, because there are brands that did offer a lifetime warranty and then switched over to like 2-year warranty. So what happens to customers who purchased a pen 40 years ago with a lifetime warranty? 40 years later, something goes wrong. Do they still warranty the pen even though the company switched over to a 2-year warranty? That's my question.
I'm reading actually a post on Fountain Pen Network that was saying that back in 2009 was sending a Waterman Ici et là fountain pen, which that was a cartridge converter fountain pen. Had it since November 2007, but it started to leak badly. It came with a lifetime warranty. So this is even as recent as early 2000s. So he sent the fountain pen with a copy of the warranty to Waterman's service representative in Germany. But 2 months later, received a letter from Newell, which is the parent company of Waterman and Parker, saying that there's a quote for the repair and does not acknowledge the warranty. Just says that you should pay for the repair. Yeah, so it was disappointed by the fact that it wasn't covered under warranty, even though it said it was a lifetime warranty. But at least was able to, I guess, at least repair it. But for
whoa! I have a problem. I have a problem with that. My problem is this: if I right now in 2023 purchase a pen that has a lifetime warranty, I'm buying the pen under the condition that the warranty is lifetime. If 5 years after I buy the pen, they change their policy, shouldn't I be still grandfathered into the lifetime warranty?
One would think, yeah, if the company is reputable and would stand behind the promises that they made. But I'm even reading somebody else's comment said a couple years ago, and this was, mind you, back in 2009, Waterman changed his lifetime warranty to something like 3 years, they said. You know, and then they started charging for repairs. So, I mean, this is kind of I feel it's like the common discourse, especially for the bigger brands, to slowly erode the amount of service that they provide for their products. You know, that they just keep continuing to say, oh, well, we'll just give less, you know, and that they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my issue is then how, if companies like Newell Rubbermaid, Parker, Waterman, huge companies, and you said before, yeah, well, it should be grandfathered if they are reputable. These are reputable brands. Parker is reputable.
They're reputable in terms of the fact that the brand's been around for such a long time and they're owned by a huge conglomerate company, but they're not the same group of people that you would see like with any of the other brands that are part of the fountain pen community, like maybe like say like Scribo or Leonardo or you know, any of the Jaffa brands too. Like they understand the pen community and they try to best accommodate with their products and services what is going on currently in the market. Like Parker Waterman are so out of touch with everything that's going on. They just live in their own world. And they don't really care as much. That's at least my feeling is that I don't get the impression that they care.
We need to establish what you call reputable then, because something that's not reputable is a company that is untrustworthy, that is disingenuous, that bamboozles their customers. That to me is what not reputable is. What is reputable is a company that is established and has been in the business and is trustworthy, right? So wouldn't you consider a brand like Waterman and Parker reputable? I mean, they are well known. They have a reputation, hence they're reputable. They could be out of touch, yes, right? Like, for example, Montblanc is out of touch with the fountain pen community, but they're very reputable. So are you saying that how in touch a company is with the niche group of people and the hobbyists plays into how reputable they are?
I guess not then. Yeah, I guess that's a good distinction to make from aside from being reputable in terms of. But then again, like seeing your friend's story, I'm kind of a little put off of the fact that they couldn't, let's say, I mean, yeah, they did offer some other suggestions of what to do with it, but could there have been any more service that they could have provided? And I've known from other people's experiences when they said, oh, you know, I screwed up a nib and it wasn't even something, and I sent it to Waterman, they replaced it, they didn't even charge me for it. I'm like, that's amazing. But like hearing this, I'm like, you know, I think that's kind of a miss right there. It could have been something else that could have been there.
So we agree that Waterman, Parker, Montblanc, Scribo, Leonardo, they're all reputable companies, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if reputable companies will do something like change their lifetime warranty to a 2-year warranty, and the 2-year warranty disqualifies previous buyers of a lifetime warranty pen, if they're doing stuff like that, then how can anybody ever trust that their warranty will be good? Right? So like if I'm buying, like I personally know the owners of Jaffa brands. I know them. They're friends of mine, and I completely and entirely trust that lifetime warranty will stand no matter what. However, for people who aren't personal friends with these people, how can they trust any warranty that's out there when it comes to fountain pens, lifetime or 10-year or 5-year, if reputable brands and big brands, even though they're owned by private equity companies, how can they ever trust a warranty statement, a warranty card? Like this person that you're reading on Reddit, they purchased a pen with a lifetime warranty, and they bought the pen with the expectation that the lifetime warranty is going to provide for them. And then lo and behold, when time comes for the brand to make good, they pulled the rug out from underneath them.
Right.
What would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that it's something that I wouldn't even rely on for anything today. because you could see something like a Delta could happen, right? So Delta goes under in the mid-20s, it's like 2016 or something, 2017, then comes back now 2022, 2023. What happens then for anything that was, let's say, supposedly warranted back in the early 2000s? Are you are you going to be able to get anything out of that, or is it like the new company just washes its hands of everything?
Right. So that's another question that's another question. So a company like Delta is a company that offered a whatever. What was their warranty? Was their warranty lifetime?
I don't know. I'd have to take a look and see if I could find old information about that. But I have to imagine, especially with that higher price point, that some of these pens must have had at least, I would probably say at least like 2-3 years.
Right.
But well, then again, anything would have expired by now. But
yeah, so for something like that, I think it's a different story, right? So like if you buy something and it has like a 5-year warranty, but 2 years later it goes under, I think they're absolved of having to honor that warranty. They're not around. Now, if they come back, I wonder what the story is there. I need to speak to somebody over at Jaffa to figure that one out. Because what happens if someone bought a Delta pen 10 years ago and now they wanted to get it fixed under warranty? It's no longer under warranty because they went out of business, but they came back.
Right. And then too, at the same time, is that these are relatively new brands. So let's say a new brand pops up tomorrow and they're saying, oh, it's going to be a lifetime warranty. How good is that based on the longevity of a company that's only been in business for 3 to 5 years? So you have to kind of, like, what kind of track record have they built in such a short amount of time too? Sure.
See, the thing is, I totally understand that perspective, and I think you're completely valid. I agree with you. But at the same time, they kind of have an excuse. They went under. They went out of business, and then they were trying again. So it's a different story. But I feel like it's completely different than a company that's been around, that is established, that is reputable, that changes their warranty without grandfathering people in. I think that really bothers me.
Yeah,
I mean, it bothers me for other people. I don't have that situation happening to me. I guess the closest thing I can say is I have a 1910 Conklin that needs repair.
Don't send it to Jaffa.
Yeah, I'm not sending that to Jaffa Brands.
They'll be like, how about this crescent filler instead? It's like, no.
This is a yeah. They're gonna I mean, I get that, but that's an extreme case. This is from 2009. It's not really that vintage for it to be not grandfathered in with the lifetime warranty. Right. I think that what the company should do, and tell me if I'm being too, I guess, if I'm expecting too much. I think what a company does is, let's say we have the Odd Oink Pen Company, and you and I decide, all right, we were giving lifetime warranties, but now we can't do that because of whatever logistical reason. We can only do 2 years. But
is this on the awful sausage pen that we came up with?
Yeah, what was that, like 166 episodes ago?
Yes.
But I would say that they should catalog every model that's been promised a lifetime warranty and grandfather that in. I think it's really not right to just be like, oh, we got you to buy the pen. Part of the reason you bought the pen is because you were getting a lifetime warranty, but now we changed our minds.
Right.
But that person already spent the money. That person already bought it. Maybe they didn't care, but there's going to be people who do care, right?
But that's like part of the thing that would convince you to buy it is knowing that there's some sort of, safety net involved just in case things go awry. That's like
right. Like, so
that
convinces
you.
That's a question now I have for you, because I can answer it for myself. How often does buying a pen, where you're on the fence about buying a pen, and the fact that it's a lifetime warranty makes you go, oh, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll pull the trigger. How often does that happen for you?
It hardly does. I just, what matters most to me is whether or not it's actually well made to begin with. If I know that it's well made and that there was care and attention put into it, which is something that you have to kind of know based on the reputation of the manufacturer itself. and seeing the quality of product coming out and understanding how much like what the rate is in terms of seeing defects or people needing to return for repair and things like that. And that would kind of give me that comfort zone in saying like, hey, I don't even, but that's usually not a concern for me personally as a consumer.
Right. Well, you're not the typical consumer. So I'm more of a typical consumer than you are. And I can tell you right now that there are times where I'm buying something and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure. Should I get it? I'm on the fence. And then I'll be like, oh, look, it has a lifetime warranty. So it makes commitment easier for someone like me. So I'll buy it because of that. And I'll tell you right now, I'd be really fucking pissed if I find out something's wrong with it and then there's no warranty coverage because the people who told me that the warranty was there changed their mind. How fucked up is that? Now, I want to go and talk about this pen because this is relevant. This is a Mont Blanc Star Walker. Now, initially, I bought this a few years ago. Rather, my lovely, adorable wife who was passing back and forth and peeking in.
I see.
She bought this for me, but we went to the Woodbury Commons and we bought it at a Mont Blanc outlet store. Okay? Now, this is normally a $600+ pen. It has a 14 karat gold nib. Kind of looks like a Lamy nib. I bought it. I really liked it. I was having fun with it. And then I noticed that there's a crack in the cap. Right here. Right at the point where the cap meets the barrel. After you screw it in, after you cap it. Now, the reason why is partly my fault, but that's not important. So the reason why is because when you close the pen, it stops. And after it stops, it got a little bit more to go, but you have to really twist to get it to go.
Okay.
So what that's doing is that's putting a lot of pressure on the rim of the cap, and it caused it to fracture. So,
and especially for somebody who twists their caps on very tightly.
So I twist it until it can't go anymore.
It's going to be exploited.
So I twist it until it stops. And I think ever since you and I had that talk, I stopped doing that. Now, here's the thing, though. I called Mont Blanc, and I'm like, hey, listen, the rim of the cap is too small for the last, like, quarter of a, not even a quarter, 1/10 of a rotation, and it caused it to crack. So I'd like to get it fixed. They looked up the serial number, did everything. They asked me where I bought it. I told them it was at a Mont Blanc outlet store, and they're like, oh. So Mont Blanc outlet stores don't cover warranties. And I'm like, well, why the fuck not? And they were like, well, because those are products.
Sale?
It's final sale. That's why it's at the outlet. Now, I didn't know that. Nowhere in that, I said to them, listen, nowhere in that store did it say that all products are final sale and they're not covered by warranty. Because even if it said final sale, it doesn't mean it's not covered by warranty. It just means you can't return it or exchange it. I get it. But if there's a defect or if there's something inherently wrong with the way it's made, then guess what? It should be covered.
Right.
Even if it's a final sale.
Yep.
So the Mont Blanc lady I was talking to on the phone was like, all right, so let me speak to my manager. I was like, you better go speak to your manager. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
so,
Kevin.
Yeah. What ended up happening was she came back to me and she's like, all right, typically, she's like, the outlet store products are not covered by warranty, but you make a very good argument. We're going to send you a label. You can ship it to us. We will repair it for you free of charge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got it back, and since then I haven't had the issue because I don't tighten it all the way. I just go right until it just stops, and I stop.
Sweet.
You know? Because if you turn it even more, it'll cause a fracture in the...
I'm not going to do it. I just saw it. I just saw it split.
Yeah, I didn't know. So it'll split. So I haven't done that.
What it is, too, is that just a PSA for everybody out there in...
Wait, before you... Hold that thought. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I don't like that Mont Blanc didn't notify customers that outlet store products are not covered under warranty. Maybe I'm supposed to know that. Maybe it's common knowledge, but I didn't know it. But They did the right thing.
They did.
All it costed me was 5 extra minutes on hold.
Right.
They did the right thing because they are a reputable brand. Are they out of touch with fountain pen enthusiasts? Sure, but they're a reputable brand. They did the right thing. They got me the pen back, and it was fine. It was new and everything. Now, somewhere in fine writing, I'm sure it says that it's not covered, but they covered it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Waterman doesn't have an excuse.
The other thing to point out, too, is that a warranty is one thing. You could point to the verbiage that's put on the warranty card or in the instruction booklet and whatnot. But it's also another thing to go to the level that you did and just challenge them and give them a little bit of pushback on it, which then may result in, even though it's like written out somewhere in the fine print that they're not supposed to take it back or whatever, but they make an exception because you made a very compelling argument. You didn't probably scream and yell at them on the phone. I'm just saying I think that's probably the way that you approached it, was just very calm, level-headed, you know, not making accusations and deciding to slander or threaten, but you just said, hey, you know, I feel that this is unfair as from a consumer's point of view. Could you do something for me here? And that may, you know, especially if you get on the phone with somebody who's fairly reasonable and has some agency within the company, you could get some, you know, you could make that warranty work for you a little bit more.
Yeah. So what were you going to say before I told you to put
that was my PSA. That was my
the PSA, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Just
my message to everybody to say, hey, you know, even though it may be written in the fine print or the black and white and somebody tells you, hey, this is the rules and this is if you could calmly state your case and make your claim for it, maybe you might be able to get somewhere to make it work for you. So that's my 2 cents.
I really wish that internet person you looked up about the Waterman, I really wish there was some sort of resolution for that person.
Yeah.
I really wish that someone would reach out to Waterman and make a stink about it, because it's I don't know. Maybe there's laws that protect.
2009. That's old stuff right now.
It doesn't fucking matter, dude. In 2009, he purchased a pen that said lifetime warranty. It's the year 2023. That guy's still alive, and Waterman's still around, right?
Yeah.
Both things meet the definition of lifetime, or within lifetime. They should have done the right thing there. I think that's not right. I wish we can get a Waterman rep on the show, and we will just drill into that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, we can't, because I'm sure they don't care enough about the fountain pen community to be on a show like this one. Not to say that anybody who's not on the show doesn't care about the fountain pen community.
I will be shocked if I get any email or phone call from anybody in that organization about anything regarded to.
They don't.
No, it would be shocked. It would be shocking.
They simply don't care. And you know what pisses me off is the fact that they don't care about the consumer in this situation. And what really frustrates me and makes me feel so suffocated is the fact that I do care about the consumer in this situation, but there's absolutely nothing that I can do about it for them. And that really upsets me. Yeah. It makes me mad. But what the fuck ever. I want to talk about this puppy right here.
Yay!
What do you think of this? So this is the Scribo Feel. This is an ebonite in turquoise green. It's gorgeous. Now, the reason why I have this in my possession is because I really wanted to do a comparison between this pen and my Mont Blanc Flex Nib. Okay? My Mont Blanc 146 calligraphy.
The one that was your souvenir from Paris.
Yes, excuse me, it's Paris. Okay? Paris.
You see some new Van Gogh paintings lately.
Did you see the comment on the YouTube channel where some person is all I took away from that episode was Van Gogh. Yeah, but hold on one second. I gotta grab my notebook. Hold on.
Okay. Roy's grabbing his notebook. I'm just gonna narrate this. He's looking for his notebook. Doesn't seem to find it.
Yeah, I
can't see where
it's
it
an
went.
organized mess over here.
Maybe there's like
Okay,
just
I
a scrap
found it.
of paper or something. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I found a notebook. What kind of notebook?
Okay, so
Is that the
this is
casual colorverse? Yeah, the Nebula.
yeah, Colorverse Nebula note with stickers all over it.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I've been so busy with work and stuff, so I haven't been able to do what I wanted to in the last week or so. And in the weekends when I'm off, it's tough to get these things done too, because my wife has actually made more time for us to spend time together.
Yeah, that's
So
nice.
yeah, on the weekends, and it really helps fill the hole that I have from coming back from Paris, because we went to Paris for almost 2 weeks, and every day was just us spending time together, us doing stuff together, eating together, drinking together, everything was just together. And we didn't speak French really, and everybody else, sure, they spoke English, but we can't assume that. So it was just really, in a very positive way, isolating and very healing. But then when we came back and we're back to the real world, there's like post-vacation depression. So, us spending
It's
time
like that
together on the
separation
weekends.
anxiety too, because you were together
Yeah,
for so long. And
yeah.
It's like, oh, you're away from me now.
Yeah, so there's that. So she's making more time to spend time together on the weekends, which is really awesome. So during that time, I kind of want to just do stuff with my wife, and that is all, right? So I haven't had time to do the videos that I want to. I have pens that I want to review, but I did do this writing. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, so
Seriously savage sausage.
yeah, so I wrote out Seriously Savage Sausage on this Nebula note, and anybody watching can see they are very close in terms of line variation. They are very close in terms of non-flex and flex writing. I would say that the major differences, and I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I want to talk about it now. Major differences is this. The Scribo feels more like you're writing with a gold leaf. It's so soft, it's so flexible. It is way wetter than the Mont Blanc. It's like seriously super wet. And it feels like it doesn't spring back as quickly, but it does come back. But it doesn't come back with a bounce. It comes back like it would with a feather, a wet feather, right? Or a wet paintbrush would spread apart, but when you lift it up, it comes back together slowly.
Right.
Okay? The Mont Blanc, surprisingly, is slightly stiffer and has more of a bounce back, even though it's 18 karat gold, which goes to what one of the viewers wrote on the YouTube channel. It's about the filler content. So you can have a 21 karat gold sailor nib, but it could be really hard because of what they make the gold with. And he's absolutely, or she's absolutely,
part of it.
yeah. So that person is absolutely right. So with the Mont Blanc 18 karat gold calligraphy nib, we have a drier nib. It's not bleeding or anything like that. It's not that the Scribo was, but the Scribo, when you lay down ink, it is very wet. Not a little wet, it is very wet.
Yes.
The Mont Blanc is dry when you're writing non-flexed, and it's dry when you're flexed. And I know that sounds almost like an oxymoron, because how do you have a flex nib that writes dry? It does. I don't know how to explain it. It does. So it lays out an even flat line whether or not you're flexing or not. I said that really weird, didn't I? A lot of
So is it the same
knots.
ink used for both of them? There was a same ink?
Yeah, for both I use Mont Blanc Mystery Black.
Okay.
Okay, so I sincerely enjoy writing with both of them, and if you're not watching, I just know that I'm showing this writing sample where I wrote with both. I just definitely enjoy writing with both for different reasons. I like the Scribo because of how soft it is and how wet it is, but I also like the Mont Blanc because of how much more bounce it is. When it comes to pressure, writing with the pressure, they're almost close. They're almost identical. You can just feel that the Mont Blanc is slightly stiffer, but I'm not talking Noodler's pen stiff. I'm talking just slightly stiff. I just don't know how to explain it. And it springs back faster and is drier. So, you know, which one should somebody get? I mean, this is a tough call because you look at both of them. They're entirely different in terms of aesthetic. Right.
Yeah.
One looks like an animal, like you take an animal balloon and twist it in half. That's what the Scribo looks like. The Mont Blanc has that classic look. I think if it comes to writing experience and the quality of writing, they are both on point. It is now sincerely a matter of two things. One, the aesthetic, and two, the writing experience. How do you like your flex nib writing experience? Do you want to feel like you're writing with a paintbrush, or do you want to feel like you're writing with something that's firmer, but also spreads out? It's really, both of them are really good. And if I had to pick one, if I had to say I could keep only one, I don't know what to tell you. That's a real tough call. But I'm going to keep experimenting with this pen, the Scribo, and keep using it. And I'll make sure I send it back to you when I'm done.
What do you think of the faceted grip on the feel?
Huh?
What do you think of the faceted grip on the feel? Because the feel's got the faceted grip section.
Right. I don't really notice it, to be honest with you.
Don't notice it that much now?
Yeah, I don't really notice it. I feel like the faceted grip is really just there to keep the faceted design consistent.
Right.
If you can't even really see it. You can only really see it if you're really looking for it. Or if you just twist it between your fingers, you can feel the facets. But it's not enough of a facet to make me be like, oh, that's faceted.
It's not a hard edge facet.
You'll know it's there.
It's a very smooth.
No.
It's a smoother feeling facet where it's like you're like, oh, well, it is faceted, but you're not like, oh, this is very, very rigid. You know.
Yeah. This Scribo ebonite is really nice. What kind of ebonite is it?
It's a German ebonite. I can't remember the exact style that was there, but it's a German ebonite. It's got 4 different colors that run through it. So you've got like the green, blue, purple, and black all going through it. It's it was really, really crazy as far as how wide the variations can be on each one of those pens. Very, 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 very unique looking type of ebonite that you don't normally see. Even when you see pens that are made out of ebonite, they're usually not made with one that's a crazy, colorful ebonite like that.
Right. So I want to discuss the pricing of the Scribo feel. I'm looking at Mont Blanc right now. Mont Blanc. So with the Mont Blanc, hold on.
So you could get actually, if you want to go the least expensive route for a Scribo 14 karat feel the flex nib. Let's say if you just wanted just the nib and you wanted that writing experience. They have the feel, which is the pen that you have there. However, there is a pen model that is lower in price that still has that same nib, but it has a cartridge converter in there, and also still has the ebonite feed. So that is the Puma. That's the Puma model.
Okay.
So those start at $500 for the 14 karat feel the flex nib.
Are we sharing the screen, or are we just talking about it?
We could just talk about it because I mean, yeah, it's quick discussion. But then the feels they then start from, if you want the piston filling feel, they start at $600, $625 I think around there, and then they go up to that Cenote, the ebonite one that you have there, since it's an ebonite model and it's also a limited edition. That is $749 for that. So $750 for that particular model.
So $750. Also, it's important to let people know what comes with it. So I'm gonna drop everything. So it also comes with this 2 pen sleeve. So it's like I don't know what to call this material.
It's like a cotton material, and then they have the leather pouch on the inside that actually holds the pens.
Right. So it's like a
pen pouch.
It's a 2 pen pouch that folds
like a wrap.
right.
Kind of like a wrap.
So that comes with it. and you can tie it up like this. You can tie it up like a freak if you want.
Yeah, so there's like a leather strap that you could wrap around it and tie it up and do that sort of thing.
So
and the clever thing that they did was that each Scribo pen is included in that particular type of case, which is a 2-pen case, but 1 Scribo pen goes in there. So it immediately invites you to say, hey, this one needs a friend. So they're pretty slick when it comes to that. It's like, yes, let's sell them 1 pen, but let's put it in a 2-pen pouch and see what they say about that.
It's a never-ending chase then, because every time they buy a Scribo pen, they're going to get a 2-pen pouch.
Yep.
So it's like you're never going to win. You just got to keep buying Scribo pens, and you're always going to need a second pen to go with it. So here's what I did. I went to opposite extremes. I put my Scribo in the Scribo pouch, and then I put this pen here, my Monteverde Mountains of the World with the gold-plated flex nib. And obviously, I'm not going to include this Mountains of the World in the writing sample comparison. Maybe I will.
You should. You should.
Yeah.
Then it starts to get into this whole, like, here's all the flexible nibs that I could possibly show you debate. You know,
right? Right. Yeah, but we're talking about the Mont Blanc and the Scribo, 2 upper echelon, high-end, high-priced pens.
Well, the thing is, though, what people may not have a lot of experience with, because I know that they're very few and far between these calligraphy nibs, the Mont Blanc ones. So maybe having a point of comparison that a decent number of people would understand, like either a Noodler's Flex or a Omniflex type of nib, just as a point of comparison that most people would understand. You know.
Yeah. So you have an Omas pen still, correct?
Actually, I had sold that. I had sold both of my Omas pens when they had basically shot up to absolutely ridiculous levels of price. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting out of this one because I had my eye on other things and wanted to purchase something else in return. But they are.
I remember your blue Omas.
Yeah, that was the one that I would use a lot, and that had what they called at the time the extra flexibile nib instead of the Feel the Flex nib. But basically the same. I would say almost exactly the same, if not even better than what Omas was producing at the end of when Omas was doing their thing with those nibs. So you know, I was very impressed, and I was like, that's probably one of the reasons why I was okay with letting go of that pen, was that knowing that that nib was being produced in another pen model currently today, I was like, okay, well, at least that writing experience is still safe. I could come back to it if I want to with a Scribo feel. I'm still waiting for Luca, Scribo CEO, to make a pen that, I mean, I like the feel, but the thing is I can't get past the balloonish shape of it for me personally.
Yeah.
And then
like I said,
and then the fact that the cap won't post on the back. Like, that's just my. I'm waiting for a Scribo model that will kind of scratch my itches that I have.
What about the Puma?
The Puma, no, because then it's a cartridge converter. I would need to have like a piston. I would need to have a larger filling mechanism. You know, like
especially the way you are with inks and the way you write.
So.
Yeah. So you're not a big fan of the feel for yourself.
For me, no. I mean, I like a lot of things about it. I like the faceting, I kind of like the planing and the shape of it a little bit, but not enough to say, oh, this has got to be part of my top echelon of pens. Yeah, I have a very, very, very high bar that is impossibly hard to satisfy. So,
well, I quick 2 questions. The first one is, why didn't you just send me the Puma, knowing it's going to take forever to get this Scribo back, if at all?
Well, one of the reasons being is like, I mean, I gotta send you the goods with the the piston fill mechanism so that it's comparable to the Mont Blanc. You know, I gotta send you something that's of that same caliber. And then also too, so we could talk about the fact that it's an exclusive to Goldspot Pens, and
this one's an exclusive to Goldspot Pens.
That was the project that we worked on for, it was a little bit more or less than a year it took to come up with that, because this is their first ebonite pen ever. So
Wow, that's awesome to know. Now that I know that, I'm going to be a little bit opportunistic and say that this is part of the sponsorship. You can get this pen at Goldspot using the affiliate link, using coupon code Lucy. And instead of, can we talk about the pricing again? So for non-podcast listeners not using the affiliate link, it's $7.49. But through the affiliate link, instead of paying $7.49, use coupon code Lucy to get 74 times 2 would be $148 off, right? Is that right?
Oh, there. I don't know. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if that math works out, but
no, the math is not right. It's $74 off. So
it ends up coming out to being $674.10, I think.
$674.10 is way less than $749. Just saying.
Also, did you know that you see how crazy those swirls and colors can be and how random it could be, right? So Josh had photographed the front and back of every single piece that we have of that edition.
How many do you have?
So there's 70 of those pens. So
oh, wow.
So he photographed and put them in images where you could see like lots of, I think it's 10 or 20 of them all together on one screen, so that then you could, let's say, once you narrow down which nib that you want, you could then look at the available styles, whichever's not sold out, and then pick the exact pen that you want. So if you wanted one that had more green, more of a even distribution of colors, you like the swirls of that one, you could be like, I want number 35 with the 14
oh wow
carat.
So you're actually giving people the opportunity to handpick the actual pen that they're getting because the variations are so different.
Because they're so very different, yeah.
That seems like a lot of logistical work, no?
It was to set up, but so far it's going pretty well because people are getting exactly what they want. Because we've had it so many times in the past where, especially with some of the more swirly acrylic pens, that a pen is received and then they look at it and like, well, this doesn't really look much like what the picture looked like, because mine has more swirls on this side, mine has more like reds in it when I was thinking it was going to have like more greens, and then they send it back or they're just not satisfied with it. So it was like, well, if we're going to do this at such a level where somebody's going to be buying this as probably a grail pen, that this is going to be something that they're going to love and cherish, and said, you know what, let's go the extra mile and just see if this works. And so far it's pretty good. I think it's a good experiment so far.
I think it's great. Hey, why don't you do that with all the pens? I'm just kidding. Or the next time you do intend to do something like that where you list every individual pen, why not add a little video, just like a 10-second video of the pen twisting on each one? I'm only saying that because, you know, and I'm merging hobbies here, there's a lot of betta fish sellers online. They list their fish. The fish you pick is the fish you buy.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll include a little video of that fish.
Nice.
Yeah, and they do that for all the fish that they have, hundreds of betta fish. And it goes up, someone buys it, then they take it down. Right? It seems like a lot of work, but they're willing to do that for a $50 to $70 betta fish.
I was thinking of doing it differently, where we were going to get the whole batch of them in, right? And then we do like this grand YouTube unboxing thing where we would just show all of the pens, and you'd have to, like, if you wanted one of them, you'd have to buy into it, and then you'd get like, it would be kind of like a draft. It would be like ordered, and you'd have like, this person's up to pick next, and then could pick out their pen. But then I was just like, you know what, then that relies on everybody being there all at the same time, and then everybody having to order into it all at the same time. And like,
it seems complicated.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out a few different ways of like how to do it, and like, this seems to be like a good method. But yeah, I kind of agree, because then if you were to able to turn it and then, like, let's say take the cap off and you'd be able to see more of the pen's personality before.
Each pen. I mean, obviously you can't do that for every Leonardo, every acrylic pen you have, every Monteverde, every Conklin, every Edison. You wouldn't have time to do anything else. But I'm saying, for something like this where you only have 70 pieces and they're high end and expensive, I think that you should definitely consider that, because I think what Josh did was a good step in the right direction. I don't think it's fully there. I think that if you just got a turntable for $25 on Amazon, and then you put it on that, and then filmed it spinning, or you just do like in your TikTok videos, you just hold it,
turn it, take the cap off.
Just go. Do that. That takes 10 seconds. You upload that onto the website. I think people would definitely appreciate it. Don't you think they deserve at least that? If they're spending that much money, they should know what they're getting. They should see it more than just a photograph. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
kind of like the Betta Fish seller.
You can make it one long video, so you could, let's say, do one long YouTube video, and then you could just make the chapters the different number, or like the different styles of the pen. So like if you wanted to skip over, if you saw the picture of, let's say, number 24 on the website, and you were like, I want to see more of that, so you could go to the video, look up number 24 on the chapter seek bar, and then see, it's at 4 minutes. So you go look at that, and you actually could see it then on that video with all of the rest of them.
Too much work, dude. The work's supposed to be.
You would still have
you're supposed to do the work. It's like under number 24, there should be a small little square video with that there, or for each one, so that they don't have to leave the website just to decide. You want them to come to the website, pick what they want from the website. You don't want them to come to the website, have to do more research and go to the YouTube channel, then come back. You know what I mean? Embed it, or embed each pen's twirliness in the website, so that they can just click on. What I'm talking about is this. You know how when you have a pen, for example, let's say you're selling the Monteverde, on the pen page, you have the pen looking complete. Then you have it uncapped. Then you have it unbarreled. And then you have it posted, right? Start that off with a small video of you twisting the pen and showing that pen, instead of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just a slideshow of pictures. Add that little video in the slideshow. It's more work for you. More importantly, it's not for me. You know what I mean?
That is true.
But you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
But that's what they do. If you...
Well.
Yeah, so I was saying, if you go to like a site like jvbettas.com, right? I think something happened to the connection there.
Okay.
For every fish that they have, that's what they do. The first of the slideshow is a little 10-second video of the betta fish. The second is a picture from one angle. A third is another picture. Fourth, another picture. That's what I'm saying. Like, do that for the pen, especially for something like this. You know.
I agree with you there, because that would, I think, add a whole other dimension. I've seen fashion brands do it too, where you come on the product page, and then somebody just comes walking out from the side of the screen in the thing that they're wearing that you're trying to buy. And it just, I think it creates that immediate connection with it, where you're like, ooh, well, it's not only am I seeing it kind of almost animated and in the flesh, but I'm seeing it in the context of somebody's holding it or somebody's wearing it. So it adds that personability, that connection there too.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, is that difficult to do with the website and stuff?
It may have some technical limitations. Also, another concern is that when it comes to page speed, which is very important, that's probably the reason why a big company like Amazon may not do that sort of thing too, is that they're about more of the convenience of try to get the page loading quickly, because like Google likes it when the pages load very quick, and that way when people come onto your website, they're not just sitting there waiting for a massive video file to upload, or like other assets on the page, like pictures or other JavaScript, things like that, other features or plugins that you may have on the page. So that may be another limitation that you have to kind of work around. But they say like pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think videos are even more valuable than pictures, than static pictures are these days. So it might be worth it, even if you have to take away a few photos, like maybe instead of doing a full 360 photo, like you take that away and you just put the video instead. That's
right. So even with Amazon, there are some products where you go to the product page, and on the right, you know how there's like a column of like pictures,
right?
You can just click on the picture, it changes the picture in the and
then they have like a video that you can.
They have a little video there too. Yeah, it doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to take away from anything. Yeah. But I think that would just be something cool to add to the website. I think it would make the website definitely stand out. Look at this. I just got an email from IDP mail list. So that's Independence mail list.
Okay.
Where they sent, hey, you know what? Maybe I should send my buddy to Independence. That's a good spot for.
I think so.
For getting
Kennedys,
pens fixed,
right?
you know? So she got some. Yeah, you guys should check out indie-pen-dance.com. She makes great flex nibs, by the way. Mm-hmm. I've talked about it before. She's got some vintage stuff. Bexley Phoenix Black, Bexley Phoenix Red. Whew, wow, that is not an attractive pen. I'm going to be straight up honest about this one right here. Yeah, they have Parker Green Vacuumatics.
Ooh, I love me a Vacuumatic.
Yeah, I know. You have that blue one. As much as I love green, I'm not buying a Parker Vacuumatic until I can find the blue one that you have, because I really like that one.
Yeah, it's a nice one. You want to buy it from me?
Sure. Send it over. I'll try.
Send it over to the black hole that nothing escapes from.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna send you this pen back along with these glasses. Eventually.
Okay.
Eventually.
I'll see it maybe when the warranty wears out.
Right. We gotta get together soon. We gotta get together at some point. So I am gonna have time. I'm gonna have a vacation sometime June, July, August, and I'm doing a live August 15th at 8 p.m. I'm doing a live with MJ.
Oh, cool.
That's
channel?
my short for. Yeah, on his channel. That's my nickname for Hemingway Jones. Hemj.
MJ.
Yeah.
Cool.
So or Hemjo. No, Hemj is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that week though, I think we'll have to figure something out. I'll come up to Goldspot and we'll do some kind of content together.
Okay. Well, we have next week. I think that's next week already. On Saturday, we have Ben Walsh from Gravitas on the show.
Ben Walsh. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. So that episode might be a little bit delayed. Mm-hmm. It won't publish until like later Saturday or maybe even Sunday because we're doing it on Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We had
so
to
yeah, I'm really
some
looking
stuff
forward
around to make up for the time difference in Ireland. So
yeah, 6 hours. We can't do an evening show with him. He'll have to wake up at 3 in the morning. That's not reasonable.
We're not going to get him in a good mood.
Yeah. We're like, so how's your day going?
It's like I was asleep.
Fucking sucks. My day hasn't even started. So yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think we should get together because the reason why is because I do want to do some content with you, video content, and that video has to include you using my Mont Blanc calligraphy nib. Okay. And I want to talk about it with you on the video with everybody watching. I want to hear what your first impression is, what you think, how do you think it compares, yada yada yada, all that cool stuff. You know what I mean?
I am honored that you would allow me to use your flexible nib fountain pen. You must think that I know what I'm doing.
Well, I do know that like if you broke it, I'm very good at hurting people. Like a large majority of my life is just training on how to injure people
with fountain pens.
Right, especially with fountain pens, which makes me appreciate the movie White House Down.
I've never.
Did you ever see that
no.
with Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum?
You
never seen that movie? No. If you're a fountain pen enthusiast, there's a moment in that movie that gives us fountain pen enthusiasts our moment. Like seeing a fountain pen in a movie, you're always like, ah, right? But when you're watching that movie, and Jamie Foxx just takes a fountain pen and jams a guy in the neck, you're like, fuck yeah, Like you could be a tough guy and use fountain pens and stab somebody in the neck because they're trying to kill you with a fountain pen. You know what I mean? However, I don't think that it was like a Scribo flex nib because I don't think it would just like bend against the guy's neck flesh.
Oh damn it! It didn't puncture. It's too soft and too flexible.
Exactly. But listen, it's getting to be about that time. I think that we had a very good discussion. I want everybody to chime in, pentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com, and let me hear your thoughts. Let us hear your thoughts. If you have any comments about the warranty, or you want to talk about Scribo or whatnot, you let us know. We're here for you. All right. And thank you once again for joining us for episode number 169 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. I love you guys. Be well. Be safe.
Stay inky.